When we think vacation, we think fun, relaxing, recharging. But for an introvert, some trips can feel more stressful than staying at home. In this video, I'll be sharing the 4 strategies that I use to survive and thrive on family trips. I'm Michelle Hickey, creative entrepreneur, coach, an introvert, and your friend. Over the last 10 years, I've worked to grow several online businesses using my creative talents while building a happy and fulfilling life. Today, I guide creative introverts like you to thrive as business owners and as individuals. This channel is where I share all of my strategies to help creative introverts thrive in business and life. So, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button so that you won't miss out on any of the new content that's released. I also want to invite you to grab a free video guide that I created with you in mind. It's called An Introvert's Guide to Thriving in Business and Life, which you can grab for free by clicking on the link in the description below. So I just returned from a trip to Cape Cod where my parents have a summer home, and during my time there, I jotted down some notes that I wish I had had on some of my previous trips. If you are an introvert who secretly dreads the thought of vacationing with a group, here are my 4 tips to help you make your next trip a relaxing one. Most of the time, we introverts don't mind being in the same room with other people as long as we don't have to be too engaged in conversation or stimulation. Reading or watching a movie are 2 easy options. If you have a lot of talkers in your group, going to see a movie in a theater might be a better alternative. Also consider some physical activities like going out for a run where you can put in your headphones, or going boating where you can call the one-person kayak. Last week in Cape Cod, my mom and I took a yoga class together and it was wonderful. Even though we were in a space with other people, it was very much a personal activity. I walked out feeling recharged, and then my mom and I were able to chat about our shared experience and to make jokes about some of the yoga chants that our instructor randomly shouted out during our practice, and how the guy next to me almost kicked me in the head. You don't need to be an introvert to know that trying to get the entire group to agree on one activity is a recipe for disaster. Someone is always going to be unhappy. Instead, take that pressure off and plan to split up. The more people that you are with on your trip, the easier this is because you are bound to be with various personality types and people with different interests. In a few weeks, I'm traveling to London with my husband's family, and there will be 7 of us in total. Smart guy that he is, and borderline introvert, my husband took the initiative to set up a spreadsheet and an itinerary using a site called Travify. We've had really open communication about the activities that are important to each of us as individuals, and have removed the pressure that everyone needs to take part in everything. For example, there's a day where the 4 of us Harry Potter fans are going to the Warner Brothers studio tour. My in-laws and my sister-in-law really have no interest in exploring the Diagon Alley set or poking around Professor Umbridge's office. So they'll just use that time to explore or maybe just relax. And then later in the trip, the family is taking a day trip to Paris. Since my husband and I were just there last September, we opted out of that one, and we will likely spend that time split between the pub and the tea room. It's all about that compromise. Now, this is a little counterintuitive to trip planning, but it's probably the most important action that you can take to keep your introverted sanity. When you're visiting someplace like a new city or Disney World, or even a place that you travel to often, there is so much pressure to maximize your stay. We feel this need to make it worth our time and money, which leads to inadvertently filling up every moment with activity. This is an exhausting way to vacation and will ultimately leave you feeling like you need another one when you get home. To enjoy more moments and to truly maximize your experience, plan to take breaks. Unapologetically take naps, go for a long walk or a long drive, or even offer to go run an errand so that you can get some quiet alone time. There is no shame in just hanging out in your room. In my last video, I shared how I really enjoy staying in nice hotels. And this is partially because I plan to spend more time there than the average person. I don't see it as just a place to sleep, as many do when they're traveling, but another part of the trip to enjoy. There have been many occasions where my husband and I have been on a vacation and we've ditched our plans for dining out just so that we could order room service, sit in the room, and watch TV. Being out of your normal routine and in a new place can be a big drain on your energy. So honor how you're feeling and don't be afraid to change course and cancel plans if you've overextended yourself. You may have taken trips before and felt like there was something wrong with you, or maybe you have felt guilty about not having as good of a time as everyone else seems to be having. Introverts love vacations too, but we just need to do them in different ways. And it wasn't until the last few years that I even understood this about myself. But once I did, I had a really good explanation about why I was so exhausted, and then I was able to do something about it. I found it to be really helpful to openly communicate with my family about introversion, to explain how taking little breaks allow me to be more present when we are together. And that if I go to my room to read for an hour, it doesn't mean that I don't love them. In getting more educated, I have uncovered that there are several other introverted people in my family. And since we make up about 25 to 40% of the world's population, it's likely that you have them in your family as well. If you don't feel like you're up for adequately explaining introversion to your loved ones, I highly recommend sharing Susan Cain's TED Talk entitled The Power of Introverts, which I will link up to below. The topic of personality types might be a fun way for your family or your vacation crew to bond. So if you haven't already, you can take a free personality assessment on 16personalities.com. And after you've taken it, leave me a comment below to share your type, and I will leave mine there as well. In taking the assessment, you are likely to uncover that it's not just the introverts who have specific travel preferences. So just as you want to be heard and understood, part of communication involves giving the extroverts a voice too. With acceptance and respect, harmonious vacations await. Now I want to hear from you. Do you have any additional tips for our fellow introverts to make vacationing more enjoyable? Share your best ideas and stories in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video and you're looking forward to introverting on your next family trip, hit that thumbs up button and let me know. I share videos and book reviews and interviews with inspiring introverts every week. So if you don't want to miss out on next week's video, click that subscribe button and hit the bell so that you'll be alerted when the next one is released. And if you're looking for another piece of video content to enjoy right away, head into the description below to gain access to the special video guide that I created just for you called An Introvert's Guide to Thriving in Business and Life. Lastly, if you have other introverts in your life who would benefit from hearing the strategies shared in today's video, please consider sharing this with them. I'm so grateful to you for spending this time with me. Now go out and make something beautiful.